been a year and I'm back house sitting for my friends again. Now, a year ago I vowed to fix this fence, and at the time I just boarded it up with some patch cable. Now the time's come for me to take it off. The vertical brace and the diagonal brace are almost rotted right through. Just take off this classy no entry sign, and I think that was just to keep the dogs from getting through the gaps. These screws are so rusted out, I've got to use my electric hacksaw, also known as a reciprocating saw. First thing you do is you measure up how wide your opening is, and then you minus 10mm off that. So that opening was 890, minus 10mm is 880. Take out my magic square, just cut off that factory end. Start off with a nice square end. Measure your 880 for your opening, minus that 10mm, and cut that off. Now, this is where I need to use my calculator. I take that 880, minus off the 35mm for the first post batten, then divide it by the 5 remaining battens. That'll give me my spacings. So then that's center to center, or over to over. I just check that last spacing. Make sure that is a 35mm, and it's perfect. Get my good square again, square all those lines across so I got nice straight square lines, and I put an X on the side that the batten goes on. I then put that underneath as my template and line all the bottoms up so that they're nice and straight. I then take my cross member, put that over the existing holes, measure up so it's even, 70mm both sides, and I just put in one screw. Now I find if you pre-drill, it stops that first layer from splitting. And I just put one screw in every batten. And then I pull out that template, go around to the other side, and I use that template as a spacer again, just lining up with my battens with those pencil marks. Now those battens turned out to be not all the same length exactly. So I'm measuring from the straight edge that I know is all absolutely dead straight. Make sure it's completely parallel. Do the same thing again. I just put one screw in each batten to that cross member. And the reason I do that is so that I can get it perfectly square before I fix it off with the second screw. Take out my square again. Ideally you'd use a bigger screw, but I'm doing this on a shoestring budget. As I do it, all of the angles are exactly the same by how much they're out. So I know if I get this first corner good, they'll all be exactly the same. So I just keep racking it twisting it or racking it diagonally until you get it perfectly square. Check all 4 corners again. And then you can put your second screw in all of those battens. The last piece that has to go on is your diagonal brace. Now, the bottom of your brace goes to the hinge side and the top goes to the latch side or the closing side. I scribe that across and then I cut that line right through the middle, and that way you know it's going to be perfect. I mark the top, just put 2 screws in each of those battens. Last thing that has to go on is the hinges. I put it right in the middle of that brace, or right in the middle of that right in the middle of that cross member. Try and find some screws that'll work. Now put that in place and I get my offcut of that paling. Chuck that underneath on the latch side, just so it lifts it off the ground and it'll open and close easy. And then I just simply screw in the hinge side to the existing balustrade. It's perfect. Now, I have this old latch at home. It's been sitting around for 10 years. I don't know why I bought it. So I'm just going to whack it on. Same thing again, put it in the middle. Once that's on, fully close the bolt and put on the holder. That's it. Perfect. If you like that, hit like and subscribe.